Hol van a mikrofilm? A micsoda? Mikrofilm. Ezt ide kell rakni? Oda kell rakni.
Finally, now the text is clear. NYU students to follow in the footprints of conquistadors. Amazon expedition underway. NYU professor of archaeology Dr. Samuel Dickinson is leading an expedition into the Amazon rainforest. Their itinerary recreates the journeys of the Spanish explorers of the 16th and 17th centuries. While the party's goal is the last of the great Incan treasures, the fabled hoard of Tupac Amaru, can the professor achieve what the conquistadors did not? Will he find the legendary city of Acacor, treasure vault of an entire empire, the once mighty Incas? The team, who has already left for Peru, consists mostly of NYU students. List of participants in Professor Dickinson's expedition. Samuel Dickinson, professor of pre-Columbian archaeology at NYU, expedition leader. Alice Dickinson, the professor's daughter, student. William Warren, assistant to the professor. Andrew Haig, student, team doctor. Henry Fairbanks, student, technician. Mark Chestham, student. Joel Tatum, student. John Rudolph, student. Alan Branford, student. Noel Roche, student. So all the victims were part of the expedition. Fairbanks, Haig, Chestham, Rudolph, and Tatum. Finally, we got ourselves a fact.
Yeah.
There's something here about the aftermath, too. Tragedy in the jungle. Our university community has lost an outstanding colleague and teacher, professor of archaeology, Dr. Samuel Dickinson. His scientific and social achievements are writ large across the history of our university. He was last seen heading a scientific expedition to Peru to find the legendary Incan treasure vaults left behind after the conquistadors' invasion. In the course of the expedition, the professor, his daughter Alice, and fellow student Noel Roche all went missing. Roche's body was found later in the jungle. He had been killed by native Indians. Despite valiant attempts by the other members of the expedition, led by Professor Dickinson's assistant William Warren, Dickinson and his daughter were never found. In the face of the Indian threat and increasingly difficult weather conditions, the remaining party members chose to withdraw. According to Mr. Warren, the chances of finding the professor alive are virtually nil. We believe, though, that the professor and his students will live on in our university's history. Peace in their memory. Warren, he's the linchpin of this whole story. It's just him and Branford now. Now, are they both potential victims, or is one of them the murderer? Maybe they're in it together. Or maybe the murderer is someone not on the list. And where's the irrefutable proof that Hakiero killed Fairbanks? Are there two murderers at work here? Anyway, let's copy the list of participants. Maybe I can get out of here finally.
Megvan.
Let's see this list again. Must be a link between the expedition 20 years ago and the crimes now. Only thing this list connects is the victims with each other. Can we really explain the murders as a result of the events of the past? Why didn't Branford or Warren say anything about knowing the victims? That's fishy. What's stopping them from revealing information that could save their lives? Only if one or both of them were directly involved in the killings would it make sense to do so. We'll have to check their alibis again. Anyway, all the clues lead to Warren at the moment. Drugs, Hakiero, expeditions in the jungle. We must start from the expedition. That's where the fuse was lit. The drugs thing is probably incidental. Don't want to get too hung up on that. NYU students to follow in the footprints of conquistadors. NYU professor of archaeology, their itinerary recreates the journeys of the Spanish explorers. While the party's goal is the last of the great, can the professor achieve what will he find the legendary city of Acacor, the once mighty Incas? The team, list of participants in Professor Samuel Dickinson, Alice Dickinson, William Warren, Andrew Haig, Henry Fairbanks, Mark Chestham, Joel Tatum, John Rudolph, Alan Branford, Noel Roche, student. So all the victims were part of the expedition. Fairbanks, finally, we got ourselves.
Köszönjük, néni.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I've got everything I need now.
May I go home then?
Certainly, but if you'll just bear with me a second.
Hello?
Federal Agent Nicole Bonnet, FBI. I need a patrol car to the library on East 84th. It's for an expert witness in a case I'm investigating. I'll need her driven home safely. Thank you. Okay, ma'am. A policeman will be along in 5 minutes to give you a ride home. Thank you very much for your time. You've been a tremendous
Jó
help.
fejek vagyunk, ez a minimum.
Not at all. It was quite exciting, actually.
Na, húzzunk innen. A mikrofilmes szoba meg. A mikrofilm. A vadon leányai. Na de most hova megyünk? Vissza az FBI-ba? Nem, ez a múzeum. Ja, ellenőrizzük a alibiüket. De nincsenek itt, vagy itt vannak? Itt van. Warren.
Agent Bonnet. Hear about that knife business again? Agent Bonnet. Hear about that knife business again?
Jaj, lehet, hogy oda kéne adni neki?
It's getting a bit old now, don't you think?
Why didn't you say anything about the expedition?
They were tragic events. Best forgotten.
We'll start remembering because my serial killer is tied into them somehow.
Really? What an idea.
Yes, I also think that you hindered the investigation by withholding important information.
Well now, I can see you're here on business.
I'm always here on business. Don't you know the victims are all on a list?
Well, it's possible, I suppose.
It's possible, but you and Branford could be on that list. Aren't you afraid?
What good would fear do? Understand, I settled up with my conscience long ago.
When? When Fairbanks was killed? Or only after Tatum was?
You think it's so easy? And you, little girl, hiding behind an FBI badge. Do you think about all the people slaughtered somewhere in the cold and dark without your knowing?
Yes, and I hate it. I wake up mornings thinking that today someone else will die, and I can't stop it. Now it's even worse. I know who's gonna die.
Not all of them will.
Yeah?
Juan Alvarado, an archaeologist living in Cusco. He didn't join us until Peru.
Juan Alvarado? You keep in touch with him?
Not really.
Were there other people involved in the expedition?
Yes, Vaquero.
Go on.
Vaquero was a local grave robber, an amateur. He appeared when we were totally devastated and on the retreat, offering his help.
And
then he demanded an outrageous payment, and we parted ways with great ill will. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an important call to make.
Kafa. Jó, claro.
there's no time for this now.
Jó, csak gondoltam megnézem. Hát te ki vagy? Alan.
It's good we met. Are you waiting for Warren?
We're going out, although I'd prefer to go with you to the concert.
Well, maybe when I finish this case.
I can hardly wait.
I found out a little more about the Peruvian expedition 20 years ago. Do you, keep in touch with Mr. Alvarado?
No, not for a very long time, but we used to be friends. Why is he of interest to you?
The murders are all occurring within a specific group of people, and Alvarado's part of it.
Yes. Yes, he is. Do you think he could be the murderer?
Well, I don't have any proof to that end.
Do you think then that it's a Koga Pachiros Indian curse?
No.
Neither do I, but if our murderer was on this expedition, and if it's neither Warren nor myself, then it must be Alvarado?
Why should I
ha így
suspect a man who
levezetjük,
lives
akkor
in
igen.
Peru of murdering people in New York?
Alvarado was in town at the same time, of course.
What? In New York City? Are you sure?
He called me. I was frightened he was trying to track me down.
Do you know where he is now?
He left a message that he was returning home, back to Peru. I hope it's true.
We'll look into it. Do you have his address?
Well, he sent me a letter postmarked in Manhattan. Had a photo of his house in Cusco in it with the address and a note. I showed it to Warren this morning.
Could I see it, please?
Well, here's the thing. There was a bit of a mess in the museum this morning. They were cleaning the showpieces that hang from the ceiling, and I had to literally push my way through between them. It must have been squeezed out of my pocket then.
Right. I'll find it.
Kiesett.
Look, if anything suspicious happens, you call me straight away, okay? Please.
Mi történik?
Ruth?
Kiváló.
Nicole.
Yes?
I need you to check South American flights out of the country in the last 5 days. Looking for a Juan Alvarado, archaeology
Juan?
professor, flying to Cusco, Peru.
Okay, I'll get right on it.
Thanks, Ruth.
Akkor most keresünk valamit? Nézzük csak meg, ebben mi van. Ja, hogy ez nem írja föl a beszélgetéseket a fenébe. De hogy itt akkor valamit nekem keresni kell?
Gotta hurry. No time for sightseeing. Mr. Brantford's waiting for you outside.
Thank you. I'll be leaving now. You're staying here?
This pavilion is such a magical place.
You sound just like Alan. But I'm glad. It's a good thing.
Creating something like that must require so much talent.
And 20 years of hard work.
Igazán?
And one day, Hackero arrived and wanted to destroy all this.
This again, eh? No, in the beginning he even seemed friendly.
And then, he wanted to destroy your reputation and you couldn't get rid of him. So he blackmailed you?
What makes you think that?
I found traces of a drug stash down there.
Such a dirtbag. He defiled everything with his dirty little hands.
So he came here to demand his blackmail money?
You know, during the expedition we found a couple of shells of insignificant value and some old Spanish coins. Back then we were young and stupid. We invited tragedy. When the rain started and we realized we wouldn't be able to find the professor, we just wanted to get home as fast as we could. And Vaquero said that because of the diggings, we would have to negotiate with corrupt pen pushers for weeks.
He helped you smuggle items out?
Yes. Oh, they were objects of little significance, and I soon forgot about them.
Did he also smuggle drugs inside exhibition pieces?
No, never. He pushed me to, but I never allowed it.
Did he pressure the others too?
I thought that he murdered them to get at me.
Why didn't you inform the authorities?
What are you talking about? I spoke to your man Chaser about the whole thing.
Chaser, yes, of course. Did you find the legendary city in the end?
Akakor? Well, we thought so, back then. But we couldn't go back again. It all seems like a dream now.
Last thing, are you sure you don't want protection?
Thank you, no. This place is swarming with police.
Ez így van.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an important call to make.
Azt hittem, az a doboz kell nekem, de ha ott áll...
There's no time for this now. I've always wanted to check out the gift shop here.
Nem, itt vagyunk. Akkor jól értettem, hogy itt nekem most valamit keresni kell.
They usually have some pretty interesting exhibitions here.
Még mielőtt bármi történik, mentek. Csak 8-at lehet? Akkor ide mentjük. Azt hittem, majd elkezd lapozni.
This creature has a dent on its neck. Could have been caused by spears or school trips.
Ott van valami.
Here, an antique house in Cusco. Hence the dedication.
Megvan, jól van. Király.
Here, an antique house in Cusco. Hence the dedication.
Vissza az FBI-ba. Telefon.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hi, Ruth.
Alvarado left the country already. Hopped a flight to Peru.
Uh-huh. That's great, thanks. Listen, is the chief there?
Not at the moment.
You know what? Book me 2 tickets on the next plane to Cusco, Peru. Visas for me and Nick, and a hotel.
Be cheaper if you share a room.
Leave me alone.
Does Nick know about all this?
Not yet. I'll call him now.
Okay.
Thanks, Ruth.
Nickkel még nem is találkoztunk az egész játékba.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Nick, we're going to Peru with this serial killer thing. Call me or Ruth back ASAP. Don't let me down on this.
Megyünk Peruba. A perui kaland. Vissza az FBI-ba. Itt a főnök kocsija. Akkor benn van. Hello, főnök.
Okay, everything's arranged.
Super.
Thanks. Has Nick called in yet?
No.
Is the chief back?
Yes, he's in.
Supi.
So, you flying? You know what, Nicole? Dollars to donuts, Nick will be late for his flight.
Can't we just medicate him and wake him when he's needed?
Send him the address of some dusky cafe in Cusco. Maybe he'll drop by for a coffee.
Huh. Look, just make sure he gets everything he needs for the investigation.
Don't worry. I'll staple the notes to his head if I have to.
Super.
You working late again?
Yeah. I think I'll end up mummified here and put on display for future generations of secretaries.
I promise I'll dust you. See you soon anyway.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget the postcard.
I won't. See you, Ruthie.
Szia, Ruti. Itt a főnök. Főnök.
Shall we? I've got a major update on the investigation.
I'm all ears.
I've established a few facts. All the victims were part of an academic expedition to the Amazon over 20 years ago. Professor Dickinson, his daughter, and another student named Noel Richet all tragically died during the expedition. Our friend Hakiero helped evacuate the survivors. He also helped them smuggle some minor artifacts out. Of the entire expedition, the only currently living survivors are Warren, Branford, and Alvarado, who is now an archaeology professor living in Cusco, Peru. All are potential victims, and all are potential killers.
Why?
Well, I don't have any real strong evidence yet, but all my leads come back to the expedition.
So something happened down there that 20 years later is causing our wannabe Quartermains to rip each other's guts out.
Looks that way. I just don't know what the something is. So I'm gonna fly down to Cusco and talk with this Alvarado character.
I can't authorize that. They won't let me. It's about 4 countries outside our jurisdiction.
Look, if he's not the murderer, he might open up to me. I've got a picture with a dedication he made for Branford.
Can I see it? Well, well.
So maybe I'll find out what their little rumble in the jungle was. But if Alvarado is the doer...
Then he had to have been up here for the last few weeks.
And so he was.
Shit, this is getting more and more iffy. Well, we can ask the Peruvian police to do the interrogation.
Az nem jó.
I've got the feeling I'll have to go and do it in person.
Forget about feelings. We're dealing in facts. Did you do the psychological portrait?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Our killer has a thing for middle-aged, physically fit males. He's of a similar class and income as his victims, except for Tatum. Not sure why he got hit. So, let's say he isn't an acquaintance. Then he's most likely in a position of public trust. Something he can use to get close to his targets. Policeman or priest, the usual candidates. Even someone like yourself, Chief, or our pal Branford. As for motivation, I reject the ritual aspect. It's a cool gag, but ultimately just handy window dressing.
Olyan, mint a
However,
főnök.
the antique gold coins left with the bodies, that's a clear attempt at communication. Or the whole thing could just be Warren stripping down to a loincloth and slaughtering his old buddies.
Warren in a loincloth? Nah.
Nah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Warren, I wasn't aware he'd asked you for help, Chief.
Well, Nick was dealing with this case. He should have told you.
Warren admitted to me that they'd smuggled out some minor artifacts. Did he say anything like that to you?
No, he was very careful with his words. And anyway, it was only a brief chat on the phone.
Maybe the stuff they smuggled out wasn't so minor.
So they found some really big treasure down there. Someone got stiffed at the share out. And this is a 20-year late reminder?
20 years is a good amount of time for a prison sentence.
So he did 20 because he was framed. Well, that's a revenge motive. But what was he framed for?
We won't know until I go down there.
You're not going anywhere yet, Bonnet. Such a trip has to be well planned.
Ne
There's no
szívasson
time for that.
főnök.
We hang around with this, and who knows how bad this is gonna get.
You won't save anyone like this.
Listen to me. Listen, you can laugh, but I see a jungle city in my dreams. And at the top of these massive stone steps is a sacrificial altar. And the murderer's there, and he's gonna turn around any second. And when he does, pow!
But for crying out loud, she's giving me dreams now. Go home, sleep. I'm giving you 1 day off. Make the most of it.
Chief!
Don't chief me, just get out of here. Jesus Christ. Bonnets, I'm too busy right now. Unless you've got a breakthrough in the investigation.
Ja,
No, not really.
Alrighty then.
ez a főnök nem akarja, hogy a végére járjunk a dolognak. Tuti, hogy benne van a buliba. Hát hallod, Ruth?
Sorry, honey. I'm busy right now.
Ez is elfoglalt. Hihetetlen. Mindenki elfoglalt.
I made a real ass of myself.
Nem tudunk gépezni.
What the hell am I doing? Chief will can me if I take off down there. Be the shortest career in FBI history. Let it go. A man can only die once. Get packing anyway. Your destination awaits.
Indulás. Vaj, de menő. Oda néz. Micsoda lepcse. A Miklafilm. Cusco. Tényleg van ilyen város?
Damn, but it's good to get away from the city and the crime and all the everyday crap. It feels so fresh down here. I'll take a camera and act like a tourist. Might even fool someone.
Na most megnézzük. Azt mondja, hogy mi volt a hely neve? Cusco. Peru. Cusco régió. És tényleg ott van. Csak Z-vel van írva. Cusco. Ez nagyjából oda is teszi. Aha. Tényleg ott van. Cusco, Peru. Nem is olyan rossz hely. Na szóval, itt egy bácsi, beszéljünk vele.
Good morning, senor.
Good morning.
Buenos dias, señorita. Don Diego welcomes you. How was your journey?
Fine, thank you, although I've got this nagging headache.
It's the altitude. You'll soon get used to it.
That's good to hear. I was hoping you could call a taxi for me. I need to get downtown soon.
Great idea, but it's not good sightseeing on an empty stomach, señorita.
Így van.
I'll be glad to eat here this evening, but I still have the airline food in my stomach.
Oh, hamburgers. Down here, miss, you will learn the joys of a full and rewarding appetite.
Sounds good, but I can't afford a whole new wardrobe right now.
Shame. Men like a fuller figure. I assure you, señorita.
Yeah, I noticed.
Ha-ha! Eagle Eye! So, about that headache, I have something for it here.
Tablets?
Oh no, miss. Coca leaves. Chewing them brings great relief from all sorts of pains. Don't be afraid to try them.
Well, maybe I will. Thank you.
For sure.
So what are the sights around here?
Oh, señorita. All depends on time. How much have you got? A month? A year?
No.
Oh no, a few days at most.
Then you need a guide. I will arrange one for you. And in the meantime, how about a snack? Something to round out the figure. Are you going for a longer trip, miss?
Something like that. A friend who's been here before recommended I should try Juan Alvarado. That's a picture of his house. The address is on the back.
Well, I know him, of course. Respectable man, well-educated, incredible knowledge.
Sounds great. Could you tell me how to get there?
No, it's not great at all. Lately, he's been acting very odd. Doesn't want to see anybody. And for sure, not a white señorita. Not good, not good.
Well, now you've worried me, Don Diego. I was really counting on him.
No, don't say that. I have to think about this. Please, come back in a while.
Well, I can always try and reach him myself.
Jó, hát akkor keressük meg magunk, de hogy erre kell menni? Asztal. Kokalevél. Varjútövis, kokalevél, az kell. Na jó, azt is elvisszük. Meg... A többi nem kell, úgy látom. Varjútövis, meg levelek, de az akkor...
Chewing them minimizes the headachy effect of the altitude. This herb is used to cure, constipation.
Jó, ha van.
Nice place. Kinda antiquated and charming. Relaxed atmosphere. Ideal. Ruth has a great sixth sense. You can't deny it.
Kijárat az utcára. Akkor arra tudunk csak menni. Wow. Balkon.
What's the local version of Julie? Thank God there's an ATM nearby. I'll need to hit it sooner or later. Thank God there's an ATM.
Ja. Azt hittem már most ki lehet venni pénzt. Azt mondja, hogy tudunk menni a konyhába. Autójavító műhely, meg San Martin Plaza. Ide nem tudunk bemenni. Menjünk plázázni. Ez mi ez?
Wheelbarrow or rickshaw?
A régész otthona. Kis ablak. Ugye nem azon keresztül kell bemászni. Van ott egy műhely. Jó, megnézzük az ajtót.
Knock knock. Nobody's opening anything.
Valahogy sejtettem.
It's double locked.
Kettőre van zárva. Valamit itt volt. Nem csinál semmit. Jó.
It's double locked.
Ez ugyanaz. Akkor műhely.
This is not a workshop. It's a scrapyard.
Wow. Ez mondjuk menő.
'62 Chevy Impala. I remember Grandma driving me to town in one of these.
Troncsautók.
I'd love to have gone for a ride in this car 10 years ago.
Hát jó. Gondolom ő itt. José.
Hey, good morning to you.
Bienvenido.
I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
Well, a Jeep will be enough for me.
Oh, I'm afraid no Jeeps at the moment. Gone for warranty service.
May I look around?
Okay, that'll be fine.
Hát most nagyon sok mindent nem tudok itt nézelődni. Mit kell
What a
nézelődni?
crapmobile. You can hear it being eaten alive by the rust. Open sesame. Open sesame.
Nem nyílik ki. Te José, nyisd már ki.
I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
I need a car. To
De ez
rent?
ugyanaz.
Certainly.
Great spot for the camera. This is a lousy idea. Virtual money.
Ja, hogy ez kártya. Úgy azt hittem, hogy ez valami fotógép. Na de várjunk. Ha ez egy bankkártya, de ki is írja fönt, hogy kártya, nem mindig. Akkor veszünk ki pénzt. Gondolom akkor így kell.
This is a lousy idea.
Most miért?
Forget about it. Thank God there's an ATM nearby. I'll need to hit it sooner or later.
Hát akkor mégse ez a megoldás. Jó. Akkor megnézzük a konyhát. Zárva. A fene. Akkor erre el lehetett menni. Ez autójavító műhely. Ja, hogy ide jutok így. Aha. Hát akkor valószínűleg itt kell csinálni valamit. Jó, hogy visszamegyek a térre. Nem jó, nem jó. Nem menj vissza. Hely a kamera számára. De nekem nincs kamerám. Bicikli.
If it wasn't for the missing saddle, who knows? I might like to borrow this bike. Open sesame. I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
Only without the stupid jokes this time. 62 Chevy Impala. I remember Grandma driving me to town in one of these.
Így visszajutunk ide. Akkor vissza a térre. Van itt egy ablak. Még egy ablak. Két ablak.
Closed shutters. Closed shutters.
Oké. Most nézve a képen, tényleg ez a ház van. Az a ház, ja.
It's double locked. It's double locked.
A műhely. Lehet, hogy adni kell neki egy kis levelet?
They don't fit together.
Nem. Barjútöv is?
Only without the... What a crapmobile! You can hear it being eaten alive by the rust.
Lehet, hogy ott hagytam valamit a házban. Tuti, mert nálam kéne lenni valami kamerának, vagy minek.
It's worth asking for directions to Alvarez's home. It's easy to get lost on these twisting roads.
Á, ott a tálalóm, ott van. Ott van. Megvan. Tálaló. Az ennyi.
So, will I be able to see Mr. Alvarado?
Yeah. I will send a boy or go myself and make an appointment for you.
Great, I can pay up front. I'll just have to visit a cash machine.
Oh, no. For politeness, you don't pay with money, señorita. Money from a beautiful woman? This would be humiliating.
Super.
I'm afraid I've nothing else to offer you.
Then you can do me a favor, miss.
Okay, I'm listening.
Señorita is a beautiful woman.
Again.
No man could resist her charms.
This is beginning to sound questionable.
Questionable? No, these words are sincere.
Sorry, I'm just not sure where you're going with this.
Por favor, señorita. This is a respectable place. Ah, you gringos, you're so constipated.
Ezt nem értem.
To get back to what you were saying earlier...
Yes. Let me explain. And please, you have my word, there's nothing shady.
I'm all ears.
Now then, there is a garage nearby. One of my previous guests rented a car there. Unfortunately, he disappeared somewhere and did not return it.
Oh dear.
So you can imagine how Jose Santamaria reacted.
Who?
The garage's owner. I was running hotels before he could even walk. And now he thinks he's the big fish.
Igen.
So what did Santa Maria do?
Ha! He came and took a car belonging to me! And he did it like a criminal. Instead of coming like a man, talking about it over a glass of wine, he just came and stole it.
Surely that's against the law.
I'll not be going to war with him. There's no magic involved in calling the Carabinieri. No, this has to be handled more subtly. I have other ideas.
I warn you now, sir, I won't be involved in illegal actions.
Don't worry, it's nothing like that. Now, Senorita is going on another trip, correct?
Right.
So, you will rent my stolen Jeep from
Jó
here.
játéknak tűnik,
Park it
meg
here
tök
at
jó.
my hotel. And that's
Csak
it. The
ismerősök
rest
kellenek
I take
hozzá.
care of myself.
Ez a legnagyobb hibája.
Surely I'll have to return it to him and pay at some point?
You'll pay for everything up front. That's how it is here. And when you come back from your trip and park, just take a shower or keep busy for a while. I'll take the car back to the garage myself. That's it.
Is this Santa Maria some kind of nut?
No, he's actually quite a nice boy.
Okay, if you go and see Alvarado about meeting me, I'll look over at Santa Maria's place.
Please, remember, it's an old Jeep.
Oké.
Please, remember, it's an old Jeep.
Akkor tehát el kell vinni a telepjárót.
I'll have to take the money anyway.
Ó, igazán? Érdekes tök.
Why isn't this working?
Most ez miért nem működik? Jó, Petinek is megvan. Amúgy. Gondolom bele kell rakni a kártyát.
The ATM accepted my card. Let's hope it pays out too. Got the money. Now back to the workshop.
Yeah, megvan a pénz. Hogy kell kimenni? Autójavítő műhely, oda megyünk, azt hiszem. Igen, ide.
Otherwise...
Lehet, hogy most kell vele beszélni? Szóljál neki.
I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
I need a car.
Ja.
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
És akkor most mit kell csinálni?
Open sesame.
Csak oda kell neki adni a pénzt?
They don't fit together.
Nem.
They don't fit together.
És nincsen tabletem is se.
Open sesame.
Hova lett a kezecske? Volt egy kezecske.
Forget about it.
Hely a kamera számára, és nem tudom oda lerakni.
I don't see Don Diego's Jeep anywhere.
Hát én se. Valószínűleg ott a garázsban van, csak hogy veszem rá, hogy kinyissa a garázskaput.
I need a car. To rent?
Certainly. We only have the best models here.
I need a car. To
Igen. Hát ezzel kapcsolatban.
I'd love to have gone for a ride in this car 10 years ago. I heard that tires are a high energy source for fires. Surely a tire fire would stink though.
Igen. Ez micsoda? Fapad.
How about I try it one more time, but
Le kell fotózni.
how about I try it?
Fapad. Mit kell csinálni a fapaddal?
Only without... They don't fit together.
Aha. Lerakjuk a fotót.
What would Nick do? If it wasn't for the missing saddle, who knows? I might like to borrow this bike.
Ezek roncsok, a gumit néztük, a roncsautót néztük. Lehet, hogy még valami hiányzik. Akkor a pénz megvan. Na mi van?
There's no Jeeps there.
Oh, yes, but he hides it inside the garage for sure.
There's no Jeeps there.
Oh, yes.
Most menjünk vissza. Nekem az a jeep kell, amit ott dugdosol a garázsba.
May I look in the garage?
What for?
I heard you got a 4x4 in there.
No, I don't know. I let my sister keep her photo things in there. Tripods, lights, that stuff.
Az is jó.
You know, I'd love to have a picture with you.
Senorita, please. You cannot get any better than me. I'm very photogenic.
Can we do it in front of that Chevy?
Great news.
A tripod would be good. Could you get one from the garage?
Is necessary?
Oh, don't move. That's the perfect pose.
I had no intention.
I'll go grab it then. A tripod would be good. Could
Is necessary?
Oh,
I had no intention.
I'll go grab it then.
Akkor én hozom.
Here's the little beauty. I can take the photo now.
És itt a garázs is. Ott, akkor várjunk csak, akkor most ezt kell ide rakni.
This is a lousy idea.
Most miért? Ja, lehet, hogy össze kell rakni a kettőt.
No, the camera's all good.
Igen. És így kell ide rakni.
Okay, smile and
Vízi bicikli.
cheese. I'll take the camera. Otherwise,
Nem kell lefotózni? Nem. Hát elég koszos állapotban van. Állvány marad?
what would Nick do in my Forget about it.
Lehet, hogy beszélni kell vele.
Guess what? There's a car in the garage.
Well, I have not been in there for a while.
Looks like a Jeep.
Oh, happy day.
Azt szeretném
Does it
elvinni.
run?
Why, of course.
Could I rent it for 2 days, please?
No problem. Only $100.
100? I could probably buy it for 50.
And not from me, you couldn't.
But it does work okay?
Yeah, as I say, it will start, but it needs encouragement.
So, when?
If I fiddle with it, which will be another $50. 100 all in.
Ah, I understand now. Okay.
Please come back tomorrow morning. The car will be waiting out front.
Oké.
Here you go. $100.
Can you put it in my pocket? I have dirty hands.
No way, Jose.
Okay, but no money, no car.
Otherwise,
Na hát,
forget about it.
nem?
I'll leave it under this thing here.
Okay, if you prefer cold metal.
Izé alá. Izé alá.
Otherwise,
Oda.
how about I try it one more time, but do it just a little differently? They don't fit together.
Most mi izé alá kell rakni a pénzt? Nem értettem.
I'll leave it under this thing here.
Okay, if you prefer cold metal.
Izé alá. Mi alá?
They don't fit together. Well, that was stupid.
Azt mondja izé. De mizé?
I'll leave it under this thing here.
Okay, if you prefer cold metal.
Angolul sem mondja igazán, hogy mi alá.
Otherwise,
Nem? A roncs
this
alá?
isn't a good
Nem?
idea. Forget about it. How about I try it one more time, but do it just a little differently? How many times can I try the same thing, eh?
Aj. Oho. Aha. Nem egyszerű a dolog.
What shall I do with it?
Vagy... Na jó van, akkor ez is megvan. Úgy. Elmentjük. Játékállítás mentése. Hova mentettem? Most akkor ide. A másodikra mentettem. És akkor szerintem minden folytatjuk holnap. Nem tudom mennyi van még a játékból, most így tök jó haladtam vele. Már amikor nem kell újra kezdeni. Aztán ennyi. Szóval holnap találkozunk, addig is legyetek jók. Szevasztok!